people, like our sister Odette, who came very early today. She was waiting actually in the car. So today workshop is about conflict resolution. Okay, and I think Rwanda does not need to be taught about conflict resolution, in my opinion. In our countries, we should talk about that. Okay? Conflicts mostly in our countries now, or in other African countries, but not in your country, because you learn from your challenge and so on. But still, always we say, reminding is better than, when you go out on an airplane, what they do every time? The airplane, every time you go airplane, every airplane, they must do something. What they do, they repeat. Anybody? Everyone?
Tell you maybe the safety measures.
The safety information, right?
Yeah.
So, see, they repeat the information. They know that 99% of these people, they've gone through airplane before, and they know that you know the procedure, but they repeat it for you. Why they repeat it for you? So that you avoid going into, hustle when there is a real hustle. When there is a real, problem, crisis, planes start to shake up, they maybe go very fast, we know what to do. Okay, so they don't depend on your earlier memory. They always take it for granted. And this technique, by the way, very important. Then, by the way, we don't want today to focus. Where is the pens? Give me for the board. Isa, give me the board pen. Okay. We call it bokayoka. Okay. The Japanese, they call it bokayoka. What means bokayoka? Means error proofing. Okay. Or idiot people not to make error. Okay. So even make something in a way, even idiot people, they will not make it. Okay. So this is a technique that is always we need to remind ourselves. If we are doing conflict resolution already techniques, and for example, you are doing the omuganda, you are doing the odihe, right? Odihe, good? Yeah. Okay. Bring more ink pen. This one.
Yes, I'm doing that.
Okay. So this is very important. So the technique I call it bokayoka. Maybe you can Google it. Okay. Which called error proofing. Some things for that I want when you go, don't go into detail unless they ask you about it. Okay. And I know that many people they say, we want to go deeper later, hopefully with the end of the session, especially after Dr. Emmanuel and mine, we're going to discuss more what type of projects we can bring so that we emphasize or we build on this achievement. Okay? We are achieving now, and we have this thanks to God and to your government, and you have now peace between all the parties, between all the tribes, between all of the ethnicity and whatever, okay? But what can we build on that? Can we build tourism? Can we build more projects to emphasize certain areas? Maybe there is a little bit conflict between the neighbors or between the village people or something like this. These are also some things that maybe you can think about. I have put for you a model, maybe we'll discuss about it later, but you can see the most important thing in this workshop. It will be about emphasizing positive attitude. It will be about emphasizing flexibility. It will be about emphasizing accountability. If we are accountable, okay, we can be more, see the big picture. We don't go into the detail with others. We don't go into conflict with others. Okay? Because we are accountable, accountability means responsibility and authority. The word accountability means I am responsible and I have the authority. Okay? And the more we are accountable to our work, our deeds with others, then we will achieve better. And of course, the willingness to take risk. Okay? The willingness to take risk also is very important in our, approach. So today we'll talk about this in detail. Sorry. is coming from an experience now since 2015. We established our journal in 2013, so we have 10 years from we established the concept. But the projects that you see all over the world in 38 countries, or maybe you hear about us, it produced this type of techniques, which is inspiration economy or concepts. Resilience economy, behavior economy. Behavior economy, of course, it is something that's not ours. Other people brought it, but we are capitalizing on that. Of course, community development programs, future foresight. Very important. You even see conflict resolution is that you should future foresight what might be a problem that is starting from now, and we need to mitigate it from now, even if it is very small problem. Because if you don't, nobody take care about it, what will happen? It will grow over time and so on. Okay, so this is again very important we think about. And then also about aging economy, about youth economy, about poverty elimination program, and about women development program. Some NGOs, I think 2 or 3 of you, from 3 NGOs, so you should think about how we can implement. We have academic program, we have experience in the field, so think how we can approach this, and we work together to bring case studies and so on. So this is only introductory workshop. And remember, the conflict resolution is supposed to take us to something more. See, and most of the problem now is that people, they do conflict, okay, because they think they can be more, what? Free. But in reality, those who make conflict and they can't do a resolution, are they free?
No.
They are not free. They are controlled by their ego. Whether it's a government, whether it's a community, whether it's people, right? The more you actually eliminate conflict and you manage to mitigate conflict, the more you'll be resilient. Okay? And the more you become resilient, the more you can be inspiring. Okay? Because inspiration, one of the requirements of inspiration is that we have to be resilient. For that we are talking about it today here. But we are about inspiration economy. Okay? So the more we do inspiration, the more we become independent. Independent of resources, independent of the conditions, even though climate change conditions, we can be independent from it. Okay? Not controlled by any means, and mitigate it a lot. Okay? Maybe you can sit there, Shaddad. You can sit there. Okay, brother, you can go back side and he will sit. Shaddad, you come this side. Instead of standing. So this is, I think, very important you think that this is the sequence of supposed to be the workshop. I know time might not let us even reach here a lot. But remember, we're not talking about this that you know. We know that all of you are expert in conflict resolution because your country every day you practice it, directly or indirectly. Okay? Actually, you are too cool for us. For my type of our people, we are too cool. You can see how much I shout at Lisa like this, but our style is like this. Okay? Our countries, we come from this background. Okay? For countries, even the Northern Africa, they are much shorter than us. Very far, they get angry very quickly and so on. Okay? But how much your management of conflict resolution is leading you to be resilient. You say, okay, today we are resilient. Dr. Bahaji, you are resilient. Already you see you are resilient. But resilience is supposed to affect the economy. Okay? And resilience is supposed to be making you bring sources of inspiration to your community. What type of inspiration you are bringing? Because you are more resilient, because you are making more economic change. Okay, this is something. Now we know that the government is resilient. Your government is doing lots of initiatives. But how much the community is making initiatives to increase the resilience of the community? I know that NGOs, you are working on that. All the services you are doing, the 3 of you, I can see, I know. Okay, is that you are doing that. But how much it is, you don't know. You know why you don't know? Because you never measured it. For that I told you, Odette, that you need to start with doing a research. You remember, right, our discussion? Yeah. Without research, you don't know what you have done. You don't tell me how many people I served. Okay? Because I can tell you, also I taught, you believe it or not, I taught more than 300,000 people around the world. But does it matter? Doesn't matter. What matters is that how many people of these, they started to change. They started to change their mind, they started to impact the community and so on. So this is what you need to measure. Okay? And this is why we say, we start to see the resilience currency. Because this is a currency, it's more important than the dollar. Now, our mind is all controlled about what? The dollar. The more we go to the capital-based economy, the more we'll be here. Because anybody will fight us over, because we believe in there is limited resources, we'll go to this side, to conflict. Why conflict happen? Because there are limited resources. Maybe you hear it later from Labrata, Dr. Emmanuel. Okay? But in reality, there are lots of resources. But you only need to open up your mindset. The more you open your mindset, the more you go this way. So remember, don't get busy with what is conflict, because we know that you know that. What I need you to the second part, okay, which is the socioeconomic resilience. I could not start with the socioeconomic resilience without starting with conflict, because they are totally opposite of each other. I wanted to show you what is the bad thing. Alhamdulillah, you passed that stage. We are now suffering in the Arab world and developing countries. But I want you to go further to think about how much you can inspire the community and so on. Isa, come and, or someone send someone for the Zoom. Okay? Because they kept the Zoom there. Go and take the Zoom. Okay, خلاص يقول. Okay, so we are talking about again three things that we're going to tackle today. Learning from the history of, and the meaning of conflict. I hope Labrata she covered 45 minutes as I mentioned. And then Dr. Emmanuel will talk about the techniques for how to do more resolution. Because here we want you to go and use these techniques to start projects. Because the purpose, if we are here, is that we want to look together. Where a project we can start together. And the third thing I'll talk about how to become more resilient through these projects and so on. So I leave the floor for Labrata.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. And thank you for joining us in this workshop. So now we discuss about conflict, to know what is the meaning of conflict. Conflict generally refers to a serious disagreement or argument, often involving opposing party or interest. Conflict arises when there is a clash of goals, varying interest or opinion, leading to the tension and disagreement. So when you talk about conflict, it means that there is a disagreement. There is a conflict interest between two parties within organization. It can also go beyond and be at large scales between the community or nations. So it means that when you talk a conflict, you have to know that there is disagreement, there is conflict interest, conflict on goals, vary, and also opinion. So it means that there is a incompatibility between two parties, as I said. Yeah. So for conflict, it can start as a small thing, and it became a big. For example, I will give you a history as a conflict starts as a small thing and it became a big deal for many peoples. So I will say in Kinyarwanda, it is the story of Queen, and this story came from Thailand. So, hari n'histoire y'umudamu yaryaga ubuki, ari kwisigira ubuki ku mugati. Noneho ubwo buki bugwa hasi. Bumaze kugwa hasi, umuja aramubwira ati timabuja, buno buki ko bwaguye hasi waje tukabukuraho. Arangira aramubwira ati byihorere. Uwo mwamikazi bamwitaga nta kibazo. Abo nta kibazo byihorere. Noneho bwa buki buva kuri bariko bugwa hasi. Bugwa hasi mu muhanda. Yari muri etaje. Bigeze hasi, isazi ziza kurya bwa buki. Noneho uwo muja arongera aramubwira ati ko bwa buki dore ikibazo bwateye ikibazo isazi zikuburya. Aramubwira nta kibazo byihorere. Noneho za sazi ziri kwirira ubuki, haza kuza umuserebanya. Umuserebanya uza ukurikiye isazi. Noneho isazi, umuserebanya utangira kurya isazi. Noneho umuserebanya nawo injangwe iba yawubonye. Injangwe yubonye iraza izikurikiye umuserebanya. Hanyuma ya njangwe nayo muzi ko imbwa zijya zihiga injangwe, murabizi. Imbwa iza kwishakira kuhiga injangwe. Noneho umuja aramubwira ati dore ukuntu byagenze. Umwamikazi aramubwira ati nta kibazo byihorere.
Repeat it in English, please.
After.
Yeah, she's explaining the story. Okay.
Noneho rero yambwa nayo nyirinjangwe abonye ko imbwa ije kwataka injangwe ye, aza gutabara imbwa ye. Noneho wa muntu uje kugira imbwa aje gukubita imbwa, umujana none abwira nyirabuja ati reba ukuntu bimeze. Avuga ati nta kibazo byihoreye. Nuko noneho wa muntu uje gutabara imbwa, abantu bagiraga nyirimbwa avuga ati iki uje kumukira, aza gutabara imbwa ye. Aje gutabara imbwa ye, haza kuza abandi bantu bo ku ruhande rwe kubera ko bari baje kwataka uwo muntu. Uwo mujana aramubwira ati dore abantu bari kurwana. Aramubwira ati ariko tibara ariko bisanzwe bihorere, basanzwe barabikemura. Nuko noneho haza kuza abubahiriza umutekano. Bahageze basanga harimo parti, buri bantu babona parti yabo. Noneho bicamo parti bararwana. Mu kurwana ntuza bagari bandende. Bimaze kugenda gutyo bararwana ku buryo basenyuye ahantu nayo ngure bamwamikazi isenye. Hanyuma rero mu guhunga umwamikazi aravuga ati uri wabimbwiye. Murumva ukuntu akantu katangiye ari akantu gatoya, aho kakabyara ikintu cyasenye umugi. Yeah. So that is, it was a meaning of conflict, that a conflict, it is a disagreement either between two parties within a group or organization. A group can be a community or can be a group, small people working in the same organization. It can be between within the nationals and also between nationals. Yeah, and the conflict can start as a small thing and become big one and cause many problems. So now we'll see about the causes of conflict. For when we talk when there is a conflict, means that there is cause. So there are different causes depending on type of conflict. Conflict can cause if there is miscommunication, a lack of clear communication or misunderstanding can lead to conflict. Difference in communication style, language barriers, or misinterpretation of message. You know that someone can give a message, and another person can hear other things different of what. So I mean that conflict can have a cause from miscommunication. When you talk miscommunication, it can be the style you use when you communicate. It can be misinterpretation, barrier in communication. For example, barrier of communication. You know that we have a different language, French, English, Kinyarwanda. Maybe I can communicate in English or in French, and someone cannot catch well the message, and this can cause conflict or style of communication. You know, now you know that for the youth, they have this style of communication. So he can give a message, and the adult people can hear another message, and this can lead to the conflict. You know that when you talk about
recording in progress.
Generation, yeah, you know. So another cause can be divergence, interest, and goals. People can have different goals. For example, in a couple, two partners can have different goals in their families. For example, one can have goals or dream if they get money to do saving for further investment, and the other can have a goal to enjoy life and have expensive things. That also can lead to the conflict. Other cause can be scarce resources. You know, in a rural and even you know that in our country, agriculture occupy a big percentage for people who live of the agriculture. So we have and you know that we have the problem for limited land. So the people can have the problem of conflict because they want all the same land. For example, in a family, the brothers can have the conflict due to the limited land. Yeah, abasanji gusaba bitanisa. Power struggles. So here here it is when there is some who have a poor power, imbalance of power. So if someone have a more power on you, this can lead also to the conflict, because you cannot have an equal decision. And this is, for example, the case of the couple. If the people don't have the equal power in decision making, this can also lead to the conflict. Culture difference. You know that maybe you can came from a culture background, and this can also lead to the conflicts. Maybe you are in a couple. One in his family, extended family, to have many people in the family, it is acceptable. And the another, he preferred that he live alone with his or her partner. This is also can lead to the conflict. You understand? Personal difference. Personal difference, as I'm saying, it can be style, personality, also that can lead to the conflict. Historical grievance. If in the past you have a conflict, you have a misunderstanding, and it is not resolved in the current situation, you can have a conflict. Lack of trust. You know, if someone don't say trust, also can lead to the conflict. External pressure. External pressure can lead also to the conflict. For example, in the organization, you depend on funds from donors, and the given time, the funds reduce. This can cause conflict among team. Inadequate problem-solving mechanism. If you don't have how to resolve the problem, this can also lead to the conflict. The small conflict became worse. For example, you know that in the organization there is a team, discipline team, or even in the family, you know that our family this also is somehow mechanism for resolving conflict. Personal stress and the burnout. If you have stress, if you are stressed, this can also lead to the conflict, because you are, for example, you are the boss and you are among the team, and you don't treat them because you have your own problem. This can also lead to the conflict. Start again.
Let's start. This one, no, down. This one you go forward like this.
Yes,
Okay. Where are you? Huh? You were here?
Yes.
You finished this?
Yes.
You press
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Now I go back. This is it. Go back.
This is conflict resolution. This is not conflict. Okay.
Okay, so now we were on the conflict, and now we see conflict resolution. So when you talk about when we have a conflict, we have to see how to address. So conflict resolution is the process of addressing and resolving dispute or disagreement between two or more parties. It's a process to resolve a conflict. It is a crucial skill in both personal and professional setting, as conflict can arise in various contexts, such as relationship, workplace, or communities. So, the skills to resolve a conflict resolution, it can be personal or professional. You know that we have people who have the skills, personal skills to be a good mediator. You know, in our community, abunzi usanga biba bibarimo, sibyo? So those people can either help people in the community if the conflict happens in the community or at the workplace, and even it depends on the type of conflict. Effective management conflict can lead to improved relationship, increased understanding, and a more positive and productive environment. So, if conflict is well resolved, there is improved in a relationship. For example, if it is a couple that who have problem. So if there is if the conflict is well resolved, it means that there will be improvement in their relationship. You know, when there is a conflict, what will happen between those people who have conflict. Also, as Dr. Mohammed said, you cannot advance. You cannot advance economically if there is a conflict. It means that there is a productive environment is good. It's supportive environment to do to advance in the economy. A good environment to educate children. For example, if it was in the family, so conflict resolution, when the conflict is well resolved, it is a good opportunity. It is a productive environment to do business, to do in organization, to advance, to achieve more. So now it was a somehow definition of conflict resolution. Now we see consequence of conflict. If there is a conflict, what are the consequences? We are in a socioeconomic. We see what are the socioeconomic